in my opinion, and in the opinion of many, many experts, the answer is to become an entrepreneur, to become your own boss.
I think you have to be a business owner. I can't, the only time I ever say to someone to be great to be an employee is when they've already told me they've surrendered. I only tell people who are wounded spiritually that they should be an employee. And it's that feeling that you get when you pick up the backpack off the little Cub Scout and say, "Don't worry, little guy, we'll get you back to the camp." You know, it is in no way kindness when I tell someone they'd be a great employee.
The other status symbol really increasingly is lifestyle. People can own their own business, maybe even work out of their house. That, I tell you, people admire that. Like, gosh, I wish I could do that.
The spirit of the entrepreneur is to be a risk taker and to be resourceful and unstoppable and to have a vision of yourself beyond where you are and not willing to settle for life as it is.
You think about the great entrepreneurs, they're visionary, they have heart, they're willing to do today what others won't so they can do tomorrow what others can't.
Personally, I don't think of the new economy, the old economy. I create my own economy. The entrepreneur's in control. I decide what the economy is going to be like.
In the world of entrepreneurship, there are no limits. You can make as much as you want, depending on how much you want to work and how smart you are and how great a team you put together.
There's no more lifetime rewarding business than being an entrepreneur.
Why in America, where anyone could be anything, would people want to give up their freedom and become effectively a modern day slave, told shut up and be here every morning at 7:30, leave at 5:30, and do what I tell you? If people decide to become an entrepreneur and work for themselves, they have some traditional options, but they're riskier than you might think.
Any kind of a retail business, retail build-outs is extremely expensive. Even just these small little yogurt stores where they're putting little yogurt machines and you get all the different flavors, you're spending $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 to open a yogurt shop.
I would love to buy a Dunkin' Donuts, but it's $500,000 or so to start. I don't quite have that just in case money.
Risk you can lose it all, and most guys do 2 or 3 times, and even big guys like Branson, because I'm such a fan of his, half his companies don't work. If you make $1 million, your problems are going to go. If you make $1 billion, your problems are really going to go. Just the opposite. You and I know when you're making $1 million, you get $1 million in responsibilities. You make $1 billion, you got 1,000 times $1 million in responsibilities.
And most people say, I'd love to be my own boss. 70% of Americans would love to be their own boss, according to recent polls. But they don't know how to get there. Because what are you going to do? One, you could buy an existing business. If somebody's selling an existing business, you have to ask why. Usually because it's probably hard. It's probably not making as much money as they hope. 2, they could buy a franchise. A little less risk, proven system, but it's expensive to be able to do that. 3, they could start something from scratch. And that's where a lot of people feel like, I don't have the chops to do it. I don't have the money. I don't have the product idea. I don't have the expertise. I don't have whatever it's going to take to be able to get there. And I can't risk my family to do it. So 4th, they could become an investor. A lot of people in this town invest to try and figure out a way, but you got to be pretty smart with that game too, right?
Venture capitalists, who are the very best and most sophisticated in investing in new breakthrough businesses, make it on 1 out of 11. That means 10 out of 11 are mediocre or fail. Most of them fail. That's the risk there. An angel investor is lucky to get 1 out of 15 or 20.
A business is a team sport. Like, I have to have accountants, I have to have engineers, I have to have system designers, I have to have sales, marketing, I have to have accounting, I have to have mission statements, I have to have legal and all that. The average Joe Schmo, even me, I go out there, I don't have the skills to put a business together.
I think the bottom line for the 4 traditional options is they take money, sometimes a lot of it. They take expertise, and they take time. All of that adds up to just too much risk for most people.
I bought a business from somebody else and it was a lot of work. And you start wondering, what did I just buy? Because I guess ultimately I own your email list and I just overpaid for it.
People that start their own business, they spend a lot of money, they spend a lot of time, a lot of effort to get things started. And the more you invest on the upfront, the harder you typically work at it.
I can tell you what the success rate is of a restaurant.
What is it?
They're crazy enough. About 90% of them fail.
About 90%, how quickly?
Year less.
Wow.
And if we're talking non-franchise, we're talking franchise,
Sure.
that's totally different.
Yeah.
But our students aren't getting franchise reps.
You gotta invest big money.
Exactly. And with someone like McDonald's, you've had to work with the company for a long period of time, really know the
To even have a chance at investing $1
You
million.
have a chance, and it's a slim chance.
What if there was a way that you had all the proven aspects, the comfort aspects, and you could still control your own life? What if there was both? In other words, you didn't have to create everything from scratch. You didn't have to be a super leader. All you had to do, what if there was a proven product already? You didn't have to create the product. And there was a proven system already, proven training already. Everything except an employer. That was the only thing that you didn't have. Do you think more people would be open to working for themselves in that environment? In our search for a better way to make a living, we've come to the conclusion that becoming an entrepreneur is actually safer than being an employee. And through our look at the entrepreneurial options, one particular path kept coming up from expert after expert. And I think most people will find it surprising because it's certainly a non-traditional business model. That model is for people to start their own business and become an entrepreneur through the creation of a network marketing business. Some people call it direct selling because the product is being sold directly from the manufacturer to the end consumer, cutting out the middlemen. Other people call it multi-level marketing, or MLM, because there are multiple levels of commissions paid. The most common term today is network marketing, because network marketing best describes using a large group of independent distributors, independent entrepreneurs, to move a product or service more efficiently.
So my friend here, Donald Trump, and I, we always write about the network marketing industry. And the reason we support the network marketing industry is because it really is a business school for entrepreneurs. Because most people come out of school looking for a paycheck. Oh, that's terrible.
I went to network marketing like that. I think if it didn't exist, we should invent it. It is that good.
I think direct selling is a great way to do business today. It's very easy to get into that industry, and you can be self-employed, be in effect an entrepreneur.
When we see multi-billionaires adding network marketing companies to their portfolio of companies, that would be a clue. When we see people who are very famous authors and very famous business people endorsing the industry, that would be a clue.
These network marketing companies aren't $50 million companies. They're billions and billions of dollars. They lead the stock market. They're major companies.
When we're going to get it? You know, and you're going to school to work for a paycheck. But if you want to be rich, be an entrepreneur. And network marketing gives you the spirit to be an entrepreneur.
A traditional company will spend up to 50% of their total revenue on marketing. Network marketing companies use a different approach. Instead of having all that extensive marketing expense, they utilize a network of independent distributors to do the marketing for them. Now, why do they do this? First, because word-of-mouth advertising is so much more effective today than traditional media advertising. Second, some products need to be explained or demonstrated, and an independent salesperson can do that more effectively than an ad campaign. Third, it's completely efficient. The company only pays for the marketing of their product if a sale happens and not before. Imagine if Amazon allowed you to become an independent distributor and paid out 40% of its revenue to that distributor group. All you had to do as a distributor was recommend a product. And if a person bought it on Amazon, Amazon would take care of all the logistics and you'd get paid for bringing the customer. Now imagine you got paid for every purchase that customer made for the rest of their lives. Well, Amazon doesn't offer this option, but network marketing companies do.
85% of all buying decisions in our society are made as a result of word of mouth or reputation.
We're recommending things to each other all the time. You know, who's your dentist? Who's your doctor? Who's your lawyer? What detergent, are you using? What legal system are you using? What product are you using? We're talking to each other about the things that we love anyway.
When you go into a big box retailer, you're lucky if the clerk looks you in the eye, much less gives you any detailed or accurate information about what you're purchasing. So of course, this personal information, this education coming from a friend, a neighbor, a relative, or even a stranger, but one who has experience with the product is extraordinarily valuable.
As a matter of fact, network marketing can educate consumers probably better than any other form of marketing. It certainly can do better than advertising, because advertising usually has a certain hype to it and you can only get limited information. So, network marketing trumps advertising.
If you were a typical sales company and you wanted to sell $1 million a month worth of product, you might go find 100 superstar salespeople. The quota would be $10,000 a month. So network marketing as a distribution system just flips the numbers. So we use 10,000 happy, raving fans of a particular product, and we don't concern ourselves so much with how much product each one of them individually sells. If they sell just $100 or $200 a month, and there's 10,000 of them, you're selling $1 million to $2 million a month worth of product. And that's the best way I can explain how network marketing works.
This is the marketing arm of the company. There's not money being wasted on bricks and mortar. There's not money being wasted on inventory that's sitting stagnant somewhere. There's not of employees standing around that don't have customers. These are people that are going to connect with customers.
These companies allow people to become independent distributors for extremely low cost and with no minimum time or sales quota. Essentially, they own their own business and can provide as much or as little sales as they choose. In other words, the distributor gets all the benefits of traditional business ownership without the risk.
The advantage of network marketing is the ease of entry, the low risk, and the low startup cost, because almost everything else has very high risk.
You can get in for a minimal investment. You're buying into a system that's already been proven, products or services that have been proven to work.
The keys to network marketing is providing an opportunity for the masses to get involved, providing an opportunity for the average person who doesn't have the resources to start their own business.
All of this so far is fairly straightforward, but network marketing offers another benefit, and it's this benefit that makes it so interesting for entrepreneurs. Network marketing allows a distributor to build their own network of other distributors and then compensates them on the sales created by that entire group.
Direct selling is, at its base, very simple. It's the sale of a product or service to an individual on a face-to-face, one-on-one basis, just the way we're talking right now. But there's an important element as well, and that's the offering in conjunction with that sale of product, the offering of an opportunity for someone to make something of themselves.
No matter what your social status is, no matter what language that you speak, I mean, look how many unbelievable people are becoming successful that speak every kind of language out there. What an awesome gift to give the world.
Instead of having to work your way up in a system and prove that you could be a sales manager, they just decided everybody can be a sales manager. Everybody gets to build a sales team from day one. And so what that brought into the system of growth as a direct selling company is the concept of compounding or geometric progression. Because now you can actually grow a sales force very quickly because everybody is enrolling people in their own sales force.
People who are like, oh, this is weird, I'm building a sales team, or what do you think you do at a regular company? How do you think a regular company works?
Network marketing is the only industry that doesn't say your past determines your future. It looks at your past and says, okay, now what can we train you to do so you can have a great future? Every other employer out there wants to exploit you for what you already know, not teach you something new.
Network marketing has a potential to save the United States and the world, because it's going to teach people not to be employees, but to be entrepreneurs.